Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hey everyone and welcome back to Gardening with Ben. Well, it's Saturday, it's been a hell of a storm, and I've seen a lot of damage to people's allotments, which hasn't been good whatsoever. That's the thing, you can't prepare for anything like this. You just have to sit and wait it out and see what happens in the aftermath of the storm. Thankfully, up north in Sheffield, it's not been as bad as what I thought it would have been. I don't think it seems as bad as what Storm Dudley was here in Sheffield. Storm Dudley seemed to do a lot of damage to my shed, but I'm thinking that it might have survived this. The thing is, I won't be able to go and check it until Wednesday at the earliest, which will be a while. Just sitting thinking, has it survived or not? I may have to message one of my other allotment friends and see if they can pop down and just have a check, make sure it's not blown away. I didn't see it flying around in the sky, so hopefully it's still standing. But yeah, I am worried about what it'll look like. But like I said, I'll just have to sit and wait it out and see what it looks like when I get down there on Wednesday. Make sure I've charged my drill up to do any repairs that need doing. But yeah, Wednesday could be a day full of repairs down at the allotment, getting it all back built again, but we shall see. We shall see if I have to build a crowdfunding page to get it built back up again. But yeah, we will see. Hopefully it will be alright. Like I said, I've got quite a few plastic panels what I need to replace this year and get fixed to add the extra warmth in it. I've replaced it with polytunnel covering for the time being, but the corrugated plastic does make it a lot more warmer, so we do need to get some new ones of those. So that's the plan this year. So if anybody's got any free corrugated plastic sheeting, drop me a DM in Instagram. If you're close by in Sheffield, feel free. I'm always up for freebies. But yeah, they're about £9 a sheet, so keep listening to these podcasts and it'll help fund them, as everything that I earn from these podcasts goes back into my allotment and producing the content that you get. And yeah, I've been buying quite a few things for it recently, like my new climbing roses, my thornless blackberries, my blueberries, what I've planted. So yeah, quite a bit. I'm still after some yellow raspberries though. That is my next on the list. I would like some of them, so I'll have to have a look around. Maybe we'll have to order some of them online to get them ones, but we'll see. I would like some. That is the plan for this year. They've been on my bucket list for a while. And some pineapple flavoured strawberries. I've seen quite a few of those in the past. We used to have them at the garden centre where I worked, and I've been told they're very delicious, so I may get some of those this year. But on with the show, and let's try and forget about the storm. Well, it's forecast for snow actually for Saturday and Sunday, and thankfully I am working. This podcast has been pre-recorded on Friday night so that you can listen to it on Saturday. I do try and promise to keep these podcasts going when I'm working, but it's just finding the time after you've done 12 hours work. You don't feel like going back onto a computer and doing more IT work. You just like to rest and relax. So hopefully we'll do some pre-recordings for you so that they'll keep going out, and I may do Sundays straight after this one, because I do like watching Ant and Dec on a Saturday night. Saturday night takeaway is back on. But yeah, it's sometimes hard finding subjects to talk about all the time. But I was talking to one of my Instagram followers, and I mentioned that sometimes I find it hard to find things to talk about all the time, and he says just talk about your day. People enjoy it. Talk about what you've been up to, and share with people everything what's going off. So if you do enjoy it, please let me know. If you've got any subjects that you want me to talk about, send me a message. It's always good to hear what other people like to listen to. And to be honest, I don't really listen to podcasts myself, so I don't know what a lot of people's podcasts actually sound like. So I do really need to start listening to other people's to get ideas of what they actually talk about. And I see so many people spending hours editing them, getting them all ready, but mine's just recorded, raw, straight from the heart, and straight up for you to listen to. Just me waffling on for 10 minutes every single episode. But you all seem to love them, so thank you for that. So yeah, obviously it's the weekend and most of you will be off work. I'm working, obviously, but it's a time for doing your jobs in your garden. So what jobs do need doing in the garden at the moment? Obviously, we do need to be planting the fruit up. If you're wanting to plant fruit, now is the time to be getting that in the ground, because while the ground is wet, while the ground is soft, it's not frozen at the moment, we've not been getting much frost, now is the time to be getting it in. It can be settling into the ground, it can be drinking the water, it can be getting those roots down straight into the ground and getting anchored. Obviously the fruit will take a while to start formation, but you've made that first step in getting it planted. If you plant fruit in summer, it's hard to get it established because it's dry, there's not much moisture in the ground, and it's hard to get them to get started. That's why they always say to get them started in winter when they're pretty much dormant, and get them going in the ground. So we need to be getting all that done. And also I do encourage you, if you've never grown sweet peas before, go out this weekend, go and buy a couple of packets. They're cheap enough in Wilko's or B&Q or any other garden centre. Just get a couple of packets. You usually get about 25 to 30 in a packet, and that will be enough for a nice little border. Just get a plastic lunchbox like I do, put a layer of kitchen roll in the bottom of it, spray it with some water so it's damp, and then put the sweet peas on top and close the lid, and that will start them germinating after a few days. I usually get 100% germination rate on sweet peas. Once they've started germinating and you can see the roots and the sprout popping out, pop them into some soil, into individual cells or into a pot, and then when it gets to around April-May time, then you can plant them straight out in the ground, and they will look absolutely fantastic. If you've never grown flowers before, these need to be the first flowers that you grow in your garden or allotment. They're easy to grow. You just keep picking them when the flowers keep growing, and people will love them. The more you pick them, the more they will flower, and you will have some epic results. And the other thing that you can be doing this weekend is going through all your seed packets. Like me, I'm just looking at my bag full that I've got now. Like I say, I get 2 magazines a month, Grow Your Own magazine and Kitchen Garden magazine, and each magazine comes with 10 free packets of seeds. Well, they're not free because you're paying for the magazine, but 10 packets of seeds, so I get 20 packets of seeds a month. So you can think of how many packets of seeds I've actually got. I could open up my own garden centre. I may have to open up an online shop selling my packets of seeds off to everybody, but yeah, that might be something down the line if I do need to fund a new shed. But yeah, just go through all your packets of seeds, have a look at what you've got, what you need to get, and think of that new thing that you want to try growing this year. Have a look around. Have you got a polytunnel? Why don't you try and have a look at growing some melons? There's plenty of varieties that can grow in the UK. I've been doing quite a lot of research today because I like to update my website every so often and send articles out and stuff, and I'm going to be sending an article out about how to grow melons soon, I'll do a podcast talking about one soon. And there's so many varieties that can be grown in the UK these days. As long as you've got a hot place to grow them, like a polytunnel or a greenhouse, you will have some great success from them, and hopefully some fantastic results. So have a look at trying to grow something new. Let me know what you're going to try. If I know any tips and advice on them, I'll do a podcast on it. So have a look around, send me a message and get in touch. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you're new to it, thank you for listening. Make sure you do click that subscribe button and then you get notified when new podcasts come up. So until the next episode, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.